All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Jermall Charlo looks like that he has no response for David Benavidez after David Benavidez was successful against David Lemieux. And a lot of people is starting to say, is Jermall Charlo running from David Benavidez? It could be like he's running from him. So, I'm going to break it down to y'all. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. Please sure that you like and subscribe to the channel, and also share the video to get all your latest boxing news. And remember to hit that bell icon to get all the news as soon as possible as I release them. So let's get into this. Jermall Charlo, we know that he has a fight with Macy Selecki, I believe in June, whatever the case may be. And a lot of people were starting to question Jermall Charlo's resume because he has not fought anybody. The only names that really came out to Jermall Charlo's resume is Matt Karabov, Sergey Derevyanchenko. Basically, that's it. Austin Trout and so on and so forth. So those are the guys that really stuck out. And Jermall Charlo has only fought 2 world champions out his whole career and so on and so forth. And Jermall Charlo, he's going to have to step it up. He's starting to look very bad out here. He was in a confrontation with David Benavidez when Errol Spence Jr. and Danis Ugas were having their showdown for a unification for all 3 belts. And David Benavidez pushed Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo went right behind the security, talking that big talk to David Benavidez. And a while back on social media, on Twitter, Jermall Charlo says, "I'll break David Benavidez's neck because he has no defense." Then David Benavidez stated that if you're going to break my neck, if I'm so easy, why you won't fight me? And so David Benavidez, after he successfully beat Lemieux, he called Jermall Charlo and the rest of the guys that was calling out David Benavidez a bunch of B words and stuff like that. And David Benavidez has been relentless. He has a new name called the Mexican Monster. And a lot of people is starting to say that Canelo Alvarez is not the Mexican Monster anymore. It's David Benavidez. And that's going to be a whole nother video. And also it has been confirmed that Canelo Alvarez will be fighting Triple G. What a major disappointment in my opinion. But I don't even want to get into that. So Jermall Charlo, he has not fought the best opposition. Okay? He has fought 2 world champions out of his whole career. And we're going to go to his box rec for a quick second. All right, we're on the box rec. So, Jermall Charlo in his career has fought Matt Karabov. A lot of people thought, well, some people thought that Matt Karabov almost beat Jermall Charlo in a nip and tuck fight, but Jermall Charlo wound up getting the win. And then he fought Brandon Adams, a guy that we don't know about. Then he fought Dennis Hogan, a guy that we don't know about. Then he fought Sergey Derevyanchenko, a guy that we know somewhat about. Then he fought Juan Montiel, a guy that we don't know about. And now he's fighting Macy Selecki. And this is just, this is just getting out of hand for Jermall Charlo. So we're going to go down a little bit on his record. So basically, Jermall Charlo has fought 2 world champions with an Austin Trout and Julian Williams. And, Jermall Charlo, in my opinion, he's got a lot of talent, but it's just that you need to get out that 160 division. But get this, guys. According to a few sources that I know, they said that Jermall Charlo could be going back down to 154 pounds. I don't know how true that is, but if he goes down to 154, why are you in the sport of boxing? Okay? For one, there's nothing for you at 154. For 2, if you go up to 168, you have David Benavidez, and if you beat David Benavidez, as boxing fans, as typical casual boxing fans, they're going to say David Benavidez was overrated. He was never good. The diehard boxing fans will give you the credit that you deserve because you beat a young guy that was talking too much trash. So even if you go up to 68 and fight David Benavidez, you would get some credit, in my opinion, and you would be closer to the Canelo Alvarez fight. So whatever the case may be, but if he goes down to 154, I absolutely have no more respect for Jermall Charlo. Now, Jermall Charlo, I don't rock with him as much, but I do respect him for what he does in the ring. And I give the man his credit because he fought everybody in his weight class and he cleaned out the division. But Jermall Charlo, if he's looking to stay at 160 pounds, and by the way, he says that he can't make 154. The reason why he left 154 because he couldn't make the weight, and he's barely making 160 pounds. And you're talking about going back down? Make that make sense. Why not move up to 68 and fight those big names within an Andre, a Benavidez, a Cato Plant? There's some good names up there. Canelo's not going to be able to hold on to those belts anymore longer. He's going to have to fight his mandatories, and he's going to have to defend them. But if you wanted to fight somebody at 160, the best option for you is to fight Jaime Munguia. But according to reports, Golden Boy stated that Jaime Munguia is going to be fighting some guy named Jimmy something. I could be wrong, but he's fighting some guy at super middleweight. And in Jaime Munguia's last performance, he passed out at the weigh-in because he was so weight drained at 160. So Jaime Munguia is fighting at 168 pounds. So that's out the window. And Gennady Golovkin is leaving 160 pounds, even though he's unified, and he's leaving. And the only guy that would be looking to fight you down there could be Erislandy Lara or Janabek. But those are not huge names. No slight to Erislandy Lara. He's just not a big star. So what are you going to do, Jermall Charlo? You have to do something. You have to do something because time isn't on your side. You're 32 years of age. And in my opinion, are you really scared of David Benavidez? Has David Benavidez really got under your skin? When this man called you out, you got to respond. He's talking all trash. He called you a B. And you gonna let a grown man tell you that? I ain't gonna let no grown man call me a B. I'm gonna be like, look, we need to make this fight happen. Send the contract over. Let's get it done. I'm gonna show you who a B word. But you ain't doing none of that. Jermall Charlo, you better do something because you don't have a lot of time on your side. Because you need to fight these top guys. Macy Selecki ain't going to get it done. If you want to be rectified in the Hall of Fame or have legacy at all, or you just want a payday, fight Benavidez, and maybe Canelo Alvarez will give you the payday that you want. If you don't care about legacy, I understand. A lot of guys just want to be in the sport to make as much money as they can to move on with their life. I can understand that. But you need to fight David Benavidez. This man has been calling you out relentlessly. And if you want to prove to the world that you're better than Benavidez, fight Benavidez. Because right now, I have David Benavidez beating you. And if you don't train and take this fight seriously with David Benavidez, or whatever the case may be, if the fight ever happens, because he's talking about fighting David Benavidez in 2023, you better fight that man. And you better make a statement. And you better shut his mouth. Because if not, David Benavidez is going to have a big name on his resume, and his stardom is going to take off through the roof. And if you beat Benavidez, I will give you credit. Maybe the typical boxing fans, the ones that don't buy your pay-per-views, they're not going to give you the credit you deserve because they're going to call him a bum. But the diehard boxing fans know that we will give you credit if you beat David Benavidez. So, with that being said, it looks like Jermall Charlo could be potentially running from David Benavidez after that altercation at the Errol Spence Jr. fight versus Zidane Uzge for the unification bout for all three belts. With that being said, guys, it is what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.